I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me. They called me daddy, right, the last time.
Donald Trump incorrectly referred to Greenland as Iceland here. It's a theme.
Mr. President, what are you doing up there?
Taking a little walk. Come down and talk to us. Good for your health. Are you considering more renovations, sir? Hello, Peter. You're looking good, Peter.
Are you going to build up there? What does that mean?
What do you? More ways to spend my money.
Can you give us another hint?
He wanders on top of roofs.
The immortal heroes at Gettysburg. Gettysburg, what an unbelievable battle that was. The Battle of Gettysburg, what an unbelievable, I mean, it was so much and so interesting and so vicious and horrible and so beautiful in so many different ways. It represented such a big portion of the success of this country. Gettysburg, wow. I go to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania to look and to watch. And the statement of Robert E. Lee, who's no longer in favor. Did you ever notice that? No longer in favor. Never fight uphill, me boys. Never fight uphill. They were fighting uphill. He said, wow.
And says nonsense like this. Adam Janes, a licensed physical therapist working in home health care, told the Mark Thompson show the following.
The president reminds me of one of my patients. I feel like I'm watching a TV show every day that stars one of my patients. And at this point, it's my impression that he has what is known as frontotemporal dementia. The characteristic forward-leaning posture when you're standing, which we've seen him do many, many times on camera over the last decade. Another characteristic symptom is what's called confabulation, where you fill in the holes of your memory with lies that you believe yourself 100%. On top of that, the context of all of his likely dementia symptoms is malignant narcissism. He has always believed he is the best at everything ever and feels entitled to everything at all times.
A clinical psychologist would weigh in after all of this went down. Trump on the campaign trail swayed and danced to various songs on stage for roughly 30 minutes.
So I did an analysis for Stat News about seven years ago, looking at the complexity of his speech from when he was in his 40s to when he was running for president back in 2016. The vocabulary is not significantly less complex than it was, but it's in the thought patterns. So he's not staying linear. So right now we're having a conversation, we're staying on topic. But what we're seeing with Trump is basically he's moving further and further away from linearity to tangentiality. So he's sort of weaving together ideas. And then it's moving further afield towards circumstantiality. And that's really where you sort of start talking about a topic and then you just really sort of lose the thread entirely. And there's a lot of that we're seeing in his speech patterns. What we're seeing is real.
Dr. Frank George, an award-winning psychologist and cognitive neuroscientist, also weighed in with David Pakman.
Yes, dementia, bipolar, depression, those are instances that can be overcome. Well, the dementia progresses also, but it's still a disorder that happens at some point. Depression is something that happens to you. Malignant narcissism is something that is a core of the person's personality. It begins before birth. It has some genetic components, neurodevelopmental components, childhood, adolescence. It just becomes more and more enabled depending on their environment. Donald Trump had the absolute best, or in this case, worst environment for enabling it. Worst in terms of letting it be enabled. And it is part of the person's core.
Then there was a really good follow-up here to George from David Pakman that I think is really worth showing. So take a look.
Are malignant narcissism and frontotemporal dementia more commonly coexisting than they exist individually?
They're independent of one another. I really don't think one is at all predictive of the other.
Okay.
Yeah, they're both a pretty low probability. The probability of them coexisting is sort of astronomically small. It's a bad lottery win, basically. It is relatively low in the population. To have one occur along with the other independently, you can sort of multiply them and get a number that's astronomically small.
Then there's another voice in the field of medicine who would analyze the president's signature.
Costs the federal government a lot of money. What this executive order does is it establishes a fixed price contract as the default in most federal.
I would like for you to look for in this clip is how he deals with the pen. He has to use his left hand to twist it around versus just being able to have the dexterity to spin the pen around with his right hand. So that's a sign of fine motor control issues.
Currently operate on a cost plus basis. This provides oftentimes weird incentives for contractors.
So it gets more chaotic around the word Donald.
Costs the federal government a lot of money. What this executive order does is it establishes a fixed price contract as the default in.
So it's almost like he's should be moving his pen to the right. It's almost like it's stuck just going up and down. And so he has these letters that are on top of each other. So here's a comparison between his signature from this day and his signature not too long ago. You can tell that there's slight differences in just these two signatures, and they're not that far apart. Right around where it should say Donald, there's just a lot more overlap of the letters for the more current one. Two pictures. On top, you have Donald Trump signing an executive order in 2020, and below you have Donald Trump that signed that executive order just then. Guys, first of all, look at him. Look at how much he has aged in 6 years. And then also take a look at the two signatures. The two signatures also look significantly different.
I feel great. I mean, physically and mentally, I feel like I did 50 years ago. It's crazy. Now, there'll be a time when I won't be able to give you that answer, but that time hasn't come, I do. I think it's very important. I've done more physicals. I take physicals just to give the report out.
Yeah.
I take cognitive physicals, so I do a cognitive mind test, okay? And a lot of people wouldn't be able to do very well. Not easy. You get to those last questions. I've aced. I've done 3 of them. No other president has agreed to do them. I do them because I have no problem with it because I'm 100%.
So look, the signs, they are assigning. Because what we are seeing is a man who is clearly declining. And there are so many that are helping to cover it up, just like they are the Epstein files. They will continue covering it up because they hitched their wagon to a fascist. And that is where we stand in the United States of America in 2026. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/tytsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.